Ever pondered what life in Wyoming is really like? Hello, adventurers. Welcome to Eagle Explore, from your go-to channel for all things travel and culture. Buckle up as we journey into the heart of Wyoming, a state celebrated for its vast landscapes and rich heritage. Yet, the Cowboy State isn't a one-size-fits-all destination. In today's episode, I'll unveil 15 reasons why Wyoming might not be the dream home you envision for 2025. While Wyoming captivates with its scenic wilderness and distinct lifestyle, it also presents unique challenges. From its unpredictable weather to its niche job market, we're peeling back the layers to expose the hidden realities of settling in Wyoming. So, grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's explore the untold stories of Wyoming together. Let's dive in. Number 15. Wind therapy. Well, in Wyoming, you'll get plenty of it. Forget about stepping out with that perfect hairdo, because let's be honest, the wind has other plans for you here. It's all about embracing that tousled, windswept look, or, you could always rely on some super strong hairspray. And hats? Definitely a smart move if you're in the Cowboy State. Hey there, where are you from? I want to know which city you're watching our video from. Please leave a comment so we don't feel lonely. A small action like this will motivate us to make more videos. Thank you, and much love to you. Imagine cruising down the highway with the wind whipping through your hair at 70 miles an hour. Now, picture feeling that same gust while you're just chilling on your porch. That's a regular day in Wyoming for you. It's famously windy here, ranking as the second windiest state in the U.S., with winds cruising at an average speed of nearly 22 miles per hour. Sure, Alaska's got us beat as the windiest spot overall, but Wyoming takes the crown in the lower 48, making it a paradise for those who love a breezy lifestyle. Number 14. Wildlife encounters. Living in Wyoming means that Yellowstone National Park is practically your backyard. Don't be surprised if you end up jogging alongside a moose or locking eyes with a pronghorn antelope during your morning run. While dangerous animal encounters are quite rare, they are something to be aware of. The wildlife you might come across includes rattlesnakes, bison, grizzly bears, black bears, wolves, moose, and elk. Elk, if you didn't know, are enormous. As a city boy from Redondo Beach, California, seeing a male elk for the first time was terrifying. It's like a moose, but even more muscular and intimidating with its antlers. There are also mountain lions in the hills, along with wolves and grizzly bears. You're most likely to encounter rattlesnakes first, followed by bison. Tourists often get too close to bison in Yellowstone for selfies, which the bison find offensive. They might toss you 12 feet into the air with their heads. If you're lucky, that's all they'll do. If not, they might come back and trample you a bit. Number 13. Extreme weather training. If you live in Wyoming, you'll get a crash course in handling all kinds of weather. Forget relying on your weather app. It's pretty much useless here. In Wyoming, you can experience everything from blazing summer heat to snowstorms that can bury a small town, all in one day. I know a family that lives there, and one of the guys I knew from the Army mentioned this to me. He said, "You get used to it, but even after living here my whole life, there are days I wake up, look outside, and think, are you kidding me? It was warm yesterday, and now I have to dig my car out of the snow." With the Rockies nearby and strong winds sweeping through, the weather in Wyoming changes dramatically and frequently. Probably only Hawaii has more extreme weather shifts than Wyoming. Number 12. No small talk. In Wyoming, folks tend to skip the small talk, especially with strangers. This isn't just a Wyoming thing. It's common across the rural areas of North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana as well. People here are friendly and welcoming, but they don't spend a lot of time on casual chit-chat. When you do engage in conversation, forget about the latest celebrity gossip or political scandals. Instead, you'll find yourself bonding over practical topics like cattle prices, hunting stories, and the unpredictable weather. Discussions might dive into the intricacies of livestock auctions or the best spots for elk hunting. The community places value on real-life experiences and shared knowledge rather than idle talk. If you're from an urban area where small talk is a way to pass the time, this might be a bit of an adjustment. But once you get used to it, you'll appreciate the depth and authenticity of the conversations you have here. Number 11. A different culture. Wyoming's culture is truly unique. Forget art galleries and Broadway shows. Instead, you'll dive into rodeos, county fairs, and even cowboy poetry slams. Rodeos highlight skills like bull riding and roping, while county fairs showcase livestock and local crafts. Cowboy poetry slams are real, where stories and humor blend in poetic form. Wyoming's culture is deeply rooted in tradition and community, offering a refreshing change from urban entertainment. Number 10. Shopping therapy. Forget sprawling malls and designer boutiques. In Wyoming, you'll find unique treasures at local craft fairs, antique stores, and maybe even a taxidermy shop or two. Compared to most other states, Wyoming is really light when it comes to malls. The state is largely rural, with a few small cities that don't host mega malls. Instead, you'll find a few small malls at best. If you live outside the city, you'll likely be ordering a lot of your essentials from Amazon or making trips to craft fairs and antique stores. In the past, this lack of big retail options was a significant inconvenience, but with the rise of online shopping, you can now get almost anything delivered to your door. However, many people still enjoy the traditional retail therapy experience, browsing, shopping, and finding unique items in person. For those who love the experience of strolling through large malls or shopping districts, Wyoming's retail scene might be a letdown. A lot of you might wonder why this is a reason not to move there. Trust me, the absence of big shopping centers can be a deal breaker for many people. Shopping isn't just about buying things, it's also a form of relaxation and leisure for many. So, while it might not seem like a big deal to everyone, for some, the limited shopping options in Wyoming are a significant downside. Number 9. Entertainment. Forget about theme parks, major league sports, and big concert venues. In Wyoming, entertainment comes from nature's wonders like geysers, hot springs, and stunning mountain ranges. Instead of cheering for professional sports teams, you'll find yourself rooting for your local high school rodeo team or college wrestling squad. Sure, there are college football and baseball games, but if you're a fan of Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, or NFL games, Wyoming might not meet your needs. For professional sports, the closest teams are in Denver, Colorado, where you can watch the Rockies, Broncos, and Nuggets. Salt Lake City in Utah also has the Jazz, but other than that, you're looking at a long drive to catch a game. To the north, you have Montana and Canada, and neither Montana nor the Dakotas have major sports teams. Nebraska and Idaho don't either. If you're in Cheyenne, you're about an hour-and-a-half drive to Denver, which isn't too bad, but it's still not the same as having a team in your backyard. This lack of professional sports options does bother some people, especially if you're used to the vibrant sports culture of a bigger city. However, it's important to note that this is just one of many factors to consider when thinking about moving. These reasons aren't necessarily deal breakers on their own, but they are things you should be aware of. Will the absence of professional sports stop someone from moving to Wyoming? Probably not, but if you're already unsure, this might tip the scales. Number 8. Wardrobe malfunctions. In Wyoming, cowboy hats aren't just for style, they're essential. Prepare to embrace the Wyoming tuxedo, jeans and a flannel shirt as your everyday attire. High fashion isn't common here. With mostly rural areas and a few small cities, you'll see a lot of denim and flannel. If you're coming from Southern California, where t-shirts, shorts, and sandals are the norm, this might be a culture shock. While this won't stop someone from moving, it's something you should know before you relocate. Number 7. Your caffeine fix. Trendy coffee shops and pumpkin spice lattes are hard to come by in Wyoming. With its predominantly rural landscape, the state lacks mini malls, so your best bet for caffeine might be a robust cowboy coffee made over an open fire. While it's not entirely devoid of coffee spots, you won't see them on every street corner. The big cities do have coffee shops, but they don't compare to places like Seattle, Portland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Denver. For many people, getting coffee daily is more about the routine than the beverage itself. In Wyoming, especially in rural areas, finding a Starbucks can be quite the task. Number 6. Public transportation. With Wyoming's sparse population, there's little need for extensive public transportation systems. Subways, buses, and taxis are practically non-existent. Instead, you'll depend on your reliable pickup truck or even your own 2 feet in smaller towns. Interestingly, in some of the tiniest communities, people still occasionally ride horses into town. It's rare, but it does happen, which adds a unique charm to Wyoming's rural lifestyle. Living in Cheyenne, I've personally only seen this during rodeo events, but it's part of the quirky character of the state. Number 5. Driving skills. Forget about parallel parking and rush hour traffic jams. In Wyoming, you'll be dealing with winding mountain roads, icy highways, strong wind gusts, and the occasional tumbleweed rolling across your path. Another serious concern in Wyoming is drunk driving. While it's an issue everywhere, Wyoming ranks 4th in the nation for the most drunk drivers per capita, behind Montana, South Dakota, and Texas. Back in 2018, Wyoming was actually 2nd, so there has been some improvement. Personally, I'm very passionate about this issue. A beautiful girl I knew in high school lost her life to a drunk driver when we were sophomores, and that tragedy has stuck with me ever since. I've always told my kids, I can forgive a lot of things, but not drunk driving, because it's just such a reckless and avoidable mistake. Number 4, social distancing. In Wyoming, you'll measure distance in miles, not blocks. Instead of meeting a nosy neighbor, you might encounter a grazing bison. Wyoming has the lowest population density in the U.S., with only 576,000 residents according to the 2020 census, making it the least populated state. Despite being the 10th largest state by area, its population density ranks 2nd to last, with only Alaska having fewer people per square mile. Wyoming has 5.97 people per square mile, while its southern neighbor Colorado has 56 people per square mile, ranking 37th. California has a density of 250 people per square mile, and New Jersey is the most densely populated state with 1,260 people per square mile. Alaska has the lowest density with just 1.3 people per square mile. With these numbers, Wyoming is ideal for those who value privacy and wide open spaces. The 2020 census recorded 576,000 people in Wyoming spread over 97,000 square miles, compared to Alaska's 733,000 people over 570,000 square miles. Thus, worrying about nosy neighbors is unnecessary in Wyoming. Even in cities, buildings aren't stacked high. Wyoming offers tranquility and expansive space, making it perfect for those who seek a peaceful lifestyle. Additionally, Wyoming's vast landscapes are home to stunning natural beauty and outdoor recreational opportunities, adding to its appeal as a place to live with plenty of space and few neighbors. Number 3, the nightlife sucks. If you're used to the vibrant nightlife of New York City, Miami, Los Angeles, or Las Vegas, then yes, Wyoming's nightlife might feel a bit underwhelming. However, not everyone desires the high-energy lifestyle of those bustling cities. Some people prefer a more laid-back evening, just heading out for a few beers with friends, and that's exactly the kind of nightlife Wyoming offers. As I mentioned earlier, Wyoming isn't for everyone, but it suits a lot of people just fine. If you're moving to Wyoming from a major city, be prepared for a slower pace when it comes to nightlife. However, you might find that the relaxed, friendly atmosphere is a welcome change. Number 2, career opportunities. Forget the corporate ladder and the corner office. In Wyoming, you might find yourself working as a ranch hand, oil field worker, or park ranger. Career options in Wyoming are more limited compared to major metropolitan areas. The state doesn't boast a significant tech industry. While there are some startups, it's not a hub for tech innovation or automation. Wyoming's economy leans heavily on sectors like manufacturing, mining, ranching, agriculture, and hospitality. Jobs in hotels and tourism are common due to the state's natural attractions. For those who work remotely, Wyoming can be an ideal location. With a remote job, you can enjoy the vast open spaces, get a couple of acres of land, and with a good internet connection, you're all set. The rural lifestyle, combined with modern remote work capabilities, makes Wyoming a great option for those bringing their job with them. Before we get to number 1, if you're considering moving to Wyoming or any other state, check the link for Home and Money in the description area below. They can connect you with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. All right, on to number 1. Number 1, escape from reality. Well, Wyoming could be your perfect hideaway. When you move here, you're trading the relentless pace of city life for a simpler, more rugged existence. The expansive landscapes of Wyoming offer a tranquility and a connection with nature that you just can't find in bustling cities. This profound peace is what draws many to the Cowboy State, although it's also why some pack up and leave after just a year or two. Personally, I've fallen in love with the slower pace. I cherish the silence, the lack of traffic, and the endless opportunities to get lost in nature. But let's be real, not everyone's cut out for this life. Some miss the constant buzz of the city, the crowds, and yes, even those morning queues at the coffee shop. So, If you thrive in the hustle and bustle, Wyoming might just test your patience. But for those seeking to break free from the constant noise and truly unwind, Wyoming isn't just a place to live, it's a place to thrive. This concludes today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, and if you didn't, please hit like and leave a comment to let us know. Thank you.